Hey y'all, welcome back to the Chalk Sports Podcast. We got to talk about the Mountain West Conference games yesterday, and we got 5 to go through. We already talked about them in other videos, but we're going to fly through them this time. I think the only game we didn't talk about was Bowling Green, but I'm talking fast because we got to move fast. We got 3 minutes to cover, well, about like 2 minutes 45 seconds, but it doesn't matter. We gotta cover 5 games. Let's go. Miami of Ohio versus Wisconsin. 83 yards for Finn. They did not play good. Wisconsin's defense is so smothering, and the offense played so good that it was so hard to even get a potential of points. 7 first downs versus 23. 39 minutes of time of possession versus 20. They got dominated. It's such a shame to see because I thought Miami of Ohio would be at least a little competitive in this game, but they did not because they had a hard time going from point A to point B. Couldn't get any first downs, so drives ended soon. 0 for 9 from third. That's how you lose. Moving on to Buffalo versus Minnesota. Buffalo falls to Minnesota in a game where Darius Taylor really dominated with 177 yards. Derek Lindsey had 290 yards in total. We're passing with minus 16 rushing yards. He got sacked 2 times, so tough for him to really get moving. 76 yards for Smith with a touchdown. Gears with 38 and a touchdown. For Buffalo, Robinson had 107 yards. Snow had 67 and a touchdown. Gatherings had 21 yards. McMillan had 20, and they overall had a hard time getting any offense going with 151 yards in total and only 21 minutes of possession versus the Minnesota's 443 and 38 minutes of possession. They had a hard time. 27 first downs versus 8. That's how you have a hard time. Moving on to Wyoming versus Akron. 10-0. Wyoming shut down Akron's offense entirely, and that seems to be a consistent factor for the Mountain West Conference, or the MAC, who just couldn't get any offense flowing. For Wyoming, this one was a dominant factor for Keon Anderson with 260 yards. Durr had 191 yards with a touchdown, and Scott had 132 yards on the ground with no catches. Finley had 139 yards for the Akron quarterback. Patrick with 73, 5 carries. Played pretty good overall, but he only had 26 rush yards. He had 73 total yards. Moving on to Bowling Green, and this is the only game that I haven't gotten to talk about yet. Lafayette had 7 points, 177 yards in total. Bowling Green State University had 265 yards in total, with Payne having 109 yards in the air, and Petaway with 28 yards on the 35 yards on the ground. Roberts with 72 yards on the ground too. They did a split backfield that just worked out pretty well for Bowling Green. And moving on to Ohio versus Rutgers, and honestly, Ohio I think is a very good team with Navarro with 239 yards, Hendricks on 115 yards and 9 receptions, Bruno had 27 yards and 2 touchdowns. Rutgers, Kalamarcus had 252 yards, Sheffield had 85, 1 touchdown, 4 receptions. Antoine Raymond with 88 yards, 1 touchdown, 14 carries. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, share, click the link below to hear me talk about the Conference USA games today, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.